Over 500 people were killed in tire-related crashes in the United States in 2022 alone. And what your tire shop will never tell you is that most of those tires wore out too early, not because of bad luck, but because of 7 specific habits the driver never learned. The average American replaces a full set of tires every 6 years. Drivers pushing past 500,000 total vehicle miles replace those same tires far less often and spend hundreds of dollars less doing it. Not because they buy magic tires, because they do 7 things differently from the moment a new set goes on. What your dealer wants you to believe is that tires just wear out. They do not tell you that misalignment alone can rob you of 25% of your tire's life. They do not tell you that 28% of vehicles on the road right now are running at least one dangerously underinflated tire. And they do not tell you that skipping one simple habit every 5,000 miles can cut your tread life by nearly a third. Today, we are going through all 7 habits. The ones that separate a driver spending $900 on tires every 4 years from one who goes 6 or 7 years without touching them. Stay for habit 4, because that is the one dealers actively hope you do not know. Proper pressure. Let us start with the most neglected maintenance item on any vehicle in America according to NHTSA, tire pressure. Not the most dramatic, the most neglected, and it is destroying tires by the millions right now. A Government Accountability Office report citing NHTSA data found that more than a quarter of all passenger cars have at least one tire underinflated by 8 PSI or more below the manufacturer's recommendation. On a standard 35 PSI tire, that is 27 PSI, a tire generating excess heat with every single rotation, heat that breaks down rubber compound from the inside out. NHTSA confirmed the damage directly. Underinflation increases stress on tire components and accelerates wear so severely it can lead to catastrophic tread separation or blowout, particularly at highway speeds. Properly inflated tires can last approximately 4,700 extra miles over their underinflated equivalent. That is a full extra month of driving thrown away because a driver skipped 90 seconds at an air pump. Chicago tire technician Marcus Webb has worked fleet maintenance for 19 years. Most drivers assume their TPMS light is their safety net. It is not. Your TPMS warning does not activate until you're already 25% below recommended pressure. By the time the light is on, the damage to the rubber is already happening, and has been for weeks. But here is what makes this worse. Tire manufacturers design their compounds to perform within a specific pressure range. Running outside that range does not just accelerate wear, it voids the conditions under which the treadwear warranty applies. Dealers know this. They will not tell you. Sarah Donovan from Columbus, Ohio bought a 2020 Ford Explorer for $46,400. At 34,000 miles, her front tires were at the wear bars. Her 65,000-mile warranty tires replaced 31, a foot and 1,000 miles early. A third-party inspection found her TPMS had flagged low pressure 9 months earlier that she had dismissed. She paid $1,120 for tires rated to last nearly twice as long. At $1,120 for a 65,000-mile set, she paid $0.034 per mile instead of the $0.017 the warranty promised. That is $623 in unnecessary spending on a single tire replacement from one ignored warning light. High-mileage drivers check pressure manually every month, cold before driving, matched to the door sticker number, not the maximum on the sidewall. One habit, 90 seconds, every month. It is the cheapest maintenance item on any vehicle and the one that statistically pays the highest return. Rotation discipline. If pressure is the most neglected habit, skipping rotation is the most expensive mistake. The physics are simple. Front tires on a front-wheel drive vehicle, the majority of American passenger cars, handle the engine weight, all steering load, and all braking stress simultaneously. The rear tires are passengers. Without rotation, front tires can wear at 3 times the rate of rears. You are not replacing 4 worn-out tires. You are replacing 4 tires because 2 wore out while 2 had years of life remaining. The Tire Industry Association recommends rotation every 5,000 to 7,500 miles. Skip it consistently and according to tire maintenance data, you lose up to 30% of total tread mileage. On a 60,000-mile tire that is 18,000 miles, a full extra year of driving, erased. Most shops make more money replacing tires than rotating them. Think about whose interest is being served when your oil change shop does not mention it. Phoenix fleet manager Daniel Rivera runs 47 delivery vehicles averaging over 400,000 miles before major overhaul. We rotate every 5,000 miles without exception. Our per tire cost is $0.0031 per mile. The national commercial average is nearly double that. The math on rotation is so obvious it should be criminal that consumer shops do not push it harder. Kevin Marsh from Denver bought a 2018 Honda CR-V with 50,000 mile rated Goodyear Assurance tires. He He skipped rotation for 30,000 miles because his oil change shop never mentioned it. At 32,000 miles, his front tires were at the wear bars. His rears had 20,000 miles of life left. He replaced all four from $840 installed, because running mismatched tread on an AWD vehicle risks transfer case damage. He paid $0.026 per mile on tires rated to deliver $0.017, a 53% cost overrun on a warranty he never collected. The habit? Rotation every 5,000 to 6,000 miles. Same interval as your oil change. Cross pattern on front wheel drive. Straight back to front on rear wheel drive. Non-negotiable. Jennifer Callaway. Alignment is the habit most drivers check 0 times between tire purchases, and the shops selling you new tires every 3 or 4 years are counting on that. According to a Bridgestone study, a misalignment of just 0.17 inches, invisible to the eye and undetectable by feel at normal speeds, reduces tire life by up to 25%. On a 40,000-mile tire, that is 10,000 miles silently erased. A standard alignment check costs $75 to $150. One check per year protects an $800 tire investment. The math is not close, but most shops mount your new tires, balance them, and send you home without touching an alignment rack. They checked your lug nuts. They did not check the geometry, destroying the rubber. Austin alignment technician Jennifer Callaway has diagnosed tire wear patterns at a dealership service center for 14 years. The pattern I see constantly is inner edge feathering. The inner tread worn smooth, while the outer edges look new. That is toe misalignment, maybe 0.2 degrees off spec. You cannot feel it. Your car does not pull, but that tire is being dragged sideways with every rotation. By the time you notice, the damage is done. But here is what makes this particularly profitable for dealers. When your tires wear out 10,000 miles early, they do not tell you why. They hand you a quote. You assume tires just wear out. You buy another set without fixing the alignment that destroyed the last ones, and the cycle repeats. Every replacement, on every vehicle, until a driver or a second opinion shop finally puts the car on an alignment rack and finds the real problem that was there from day one. Robert Chen from Seattle bought a 2021 Chevrolet Tahoe for $62,000 and installed Michelin Defender 2 tires with a 60,000-mile warranty. At 38,000 miles, the inner edges of both front tires were bare. An independent alignment shop found his front camber was 1.2 degrees negative, likely from a curb strike he did not remember. The dealer had sold him 4 tires without running an alignment check. He spent $1,280 on a new set. At that rate, $0.034 per mile versus a warranted $0.021 per mile, that misalignment cost him over $600 early. The habit? Alignment check every 12 months and anytime you hit something hard. A pothole, a curb, a road construction edge. A $100 check once a year. That is the entire protocol. Patricia Okafor. Most drivers look at their tires twice in the life of a set, at installation and at failure. High mileage drivers look every week, 2 minutes, 4 tires, and they know exactly what they are looking for. A weekly visual catches 3 things no sensor will tell you: irregular wear, cupping or one-sided tread loss that signals alignment or suspension problem becomes developing before they destroy the tire. Embedded objects. A screw in the tread does not always cause an immediate flat. It can sit for weeks, slowly leaking until the tire runs low enough at highway speed to fail from heat. And sidewall damage. A bulge or crack is not cosmetic. It is a structural failure on a pressurized vessel doing 70 miles per hour. San Antonio tire engineer Patricia Okafor has consulted on commercial fleet safety programs for 11 years. The tire does not fail the moment it gets damaged. It fails when stress is applied that exceeds what the damaged structure can handle. A nail at 30 miles per hour is fine. That same nail at 75 miles per hour on a summer highway with the tire already low, so that is a blowout. Visual inspection catches the nail before the highway. Marcus Delgado from Phoenix drove a 2019 Ram 1500 he purchased for $51,200. At 58,000 miles, a front tire blew on the interstate in summer. Post-failure inspection found a screw embedded in the tread for an estimated 4 to 6 weeks. His spare was underinflated and unusable. He waited 2.5 hours for roadside assistance and paid $290 for an emergency mount and a hotel room. A 2-minute weekly walk-around would have found that screw before it became a $290 emergency and a near crash at highway speed. The habit? Once per week, walk the vehicle. Even tread wear on all 4? Anything embedded in the rubber? Sidewalls clean, no bulges, no cracks. 2 minutes. No tools, no equipment, just eyes and the knowledge of what a healthy tire looks like versus one that is telling you something is wrong before it becomes a highway emergency. Alan Gelfand. This one makes drivers defensive. It requires admitting that the way you drive is directly costing you money. But the data is too clear to ignore. Hard braking, aggressive acceleration, and high-speed cornering generate heat in the contact patch, the 4 palm-sized areas of rubber touching the road. That heat does not fully dissipate between stops. It accumulates. Rubber compounds degrade faster under repeated heat cycles than under steady, sustained load. Alan Gelfand, mechanic and owner of German Car Depot in Fort Lauderdale, has worked on vehicles ranging from 80,000 to over 400,000 miles. Harsh driving takes years off a car. Flooring the gas pedal, hard braking. These habits reduce the lifespan of every component, including tires. The rubber compound is experiencing temperature spikes it was not designed to handle on a daily commute. But here is what makes this especially costly on trucks and SUVs. A 5,500-pound vehicle braking hard from 70 miles per hour generates far more friction energy than a 3,200-pound sedan doing the same thing. The tire compound is rated for that load, not for daily aggressive heat cycles. Driving a truck like a sports car compounds wear at a rate no rotation schedule fully compensates for. Jennifer Calloway in Austin sees it constantly. All-season truck tires rated for 60,000 miles come in at 35,000 completely spent on otherwise perfectly maintained vehicles. When I ask about driving habits, it is always the same story. Regular hard braking, not giving tires time to cool between aggressive inputs. The rating assumed normal use. The habit? Brake gradually when you have distance, accelerate smoothly from stops, and stop using the tire contact patch as a heat sink for impatience. Combined with rotation and alignment, this single adjustment routinely pushes drivers to the upper end of their treadwear rating. Carlos Menendez. Every tire has 2 numbers most drivers have never read. The load index, maximum safe weight per tire, and the speed rating, maximum sustained speed the tire is engineered to handle. And right now, millions of trucks and SUVs are pushing those numbers dangerously close to their limits on every single trip. A full-size pickup can carry 1,500 to 2,000 pounds of payload. The stock tires on many of these trucks leave little margin when the bed is loaded, the cab is full, and a trailer is attached. At combined maximum weight, a tire running even 5 PSI low, well under the TPMS threshold, operates outside its engineering parameters. The sidewall flexes beyond its design tolerance. Heat builds. Rubber ages faster. Blowout risk at highway speed increases sharply. Dallas tire specialist Carlos Menendez has serviced commercial and personal truck fleets for 16 years. A tire stamped with load index 108 handles 2,205 pounds at full inflation. Drop to 30 pounds per square inch when it should be 35, and that load rating falls. Most drivers have no idea that load capacity and inflation pressure are directly linked. They see the payload limit in the manual and assume the tires can handle it regardless of pressure. They cannot. Thomas Wright from Nashville bought a 2022 Ford F-150 Lariat for $57,000 and regularly hauled renovation materials. At 41,000 miles, 2 tires showed severe inner edge wear and sidewall cracking. His shop called it high mileage. An independent technician identified load stress cracking, a pattern from repeatedly running near maximum load capacity while slightly underinflated. He replaced all 4 for $1,140 on tires carrying a 70,000-mile warranty. At 41,000 miles, $0.028 per mile on tires rated to deliver $0.016. The load habit alone cost him $600 early. The habit: know your tire's load index, know your actual loaded vehicle weight, and add 3 to 5 PSI above standard cold inflation when carrying maximum loads. The door sticker on most trucks includes a load-adjusted pressure recommendation most drivers never find. David Martinez. The final habit costs drivers the most money in a single transaction because there are 2 ways a tire fails: tread wear, which dealers show you, and rubber aging, which they rarely mention. Tires should be replaced after 6 to 7 years regardless of tread depth, not 10 years, not when they look fine, 6 to 7 years. Rubber compounds dry out and harden over time, even when the tire is not being driven. A 7-year-old tire with 40% tread remaining is not a 40% tire. Its compound has aged past its safe elastic range. In wet and cold conditions, it will not grip like a new tire, regardless of what the depth gauge reads. Portland tire engineer David Martinez has consulted on commercial vehicle safety compliance for 12 years. The plasticizers in a tire's rubber compound that keep it flexible and grippy degrade with oxidation over time. After 6 to 7 years, even a well-maintained tire loses the micro-flexibility it needs to conform to road texture under braking. You can have 5/30 seconds of tread left and still stop 20 to 25 feet longer in the rain than when the tire was new. Dealers sell on tread depth because that is what customers can see. Age is invisible. But here is what makes this a deliberate blind spot. An aged tire with good tread passes a visual inspection at a quick lube shop. It passes a state safety inspection. The shop hands you the keys and tells you everything looks great, and 6 months later, on a wet highway, that tire does not perform the way a tire with that tread depth should. Linda Vasquez from Tampa drove a 2017 Toyota Camry purchased for $28,500. At 52,000 miles, a shop cleared her tires for a road trip. 430 seconds of tread, marginal but legal. What the shop did not mention in Austin was that her tires were 8 years old, manufactured in 2016. On a rainy section of E75, she hydroplaned at 65 miles per hour and struck a guardrail. No serious injuries, but $9,400 in vehicle damage and $1,200 in new tires that should have been replaced 2 years earlier. Reading the DOT date code would have caught this. The check cost nothing. The failure cost over $10,000. The habit, read the DOT date code stamped on your tire's sidewall. It is a 4-digit number in an oval. The last 2 digits are the year of manufacture. A code reading 2518 means week 25 of 2018. Any tire past 6 to 7 years from that date gets replaced regardless of tread depth. This is the habit no shop explains, almost none charge for, and every long mileage driver knows by heart. After 7 habits, the data comes back to one truth. A $223 tire does not cost $223. It costs whatever per mile rate your habits produce. Drivers hitting every rotation interval, checking pressure monthly, maintaining alignment annually, and replacing on age rather than appearance pay $0.015 to $0.018 per mile. Drivers skipping these habits pay $0.030 to $0.034 per mile on the exact same rubber. Double the cost, same roads, same wallet, 7 habits, no special tools, no mechanic required. Just consistency, a 90-second monthly routine, and knowing one 4-digit number on your sidewall. Which habit have you been skipping the longest? Pressure, rotation, or alignment? Drop it in the comments. I read every one. Next, the 5 tire brands with the shortest or the real-world life versus their advertised warranties, and the one brand that consistently outlasts its rating by 18,000 miles. You need that before your next tire purchase.